You're listening to Radio Hyrule.
All right. Adventures and welcome to another exciting episode of Realms of the Wild.
Elias, you must be
Early morning. We're only 5 minutes late today. Yay.
I'm going to laugh when people show up late being like, oh, I'm late.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
usually
Yeah.
early, even though it's not the same time.
Late. We are at the same time we've always been for almost 5 years.
You
Scary.
say that, however.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to see you. It is Saturday, and we are here. I think it's time for announcer moments, and the biggest announcer moment is what you see today, you will never see again.
Wow, that's
Yes, we're
the most
canceling.
ominous
No.
way you could put that.
Yeah. Big changes are coming. I'm not into specifics, but the next time this show goes live, cool things are going to happen. And I think you guys are going to be excited. I'm excited. Elias is indifferent because he's Elias.
I'm excited and I'm in you guys' boat. I have no idea what's happening.
I know what's happening and I am hyped, but I also won't be here for the next episode. So
No.
I have tech.
Face.
Yay!
Never mind. Everything's canceled. Realms will never change again. We're never even leaving Goron City. It's just the rest. This is no longer Realms of the Wild. This is Realms of the Goron City.
I'm okay.
And you
It's
guys-
realms of the idiots who are talking about things on the internet. We're just
You
making
guys
fun.
are gonna. You guys are
Isn't that
all
what
going
we
to
normally are?
move
Right.
into an apartment together, and this will be a sitcom.
It's always sunny in Goron
God,
City.
could you imagine?
Excuse me, what's your spaghetti policy?
That's a bad
Oh
idea.
no! Arel got a date with Jeff the Elder from
Oh god.
the Powerwell and Jeff the Elder from the Courage Realm. Whatever shall we do?
Cue theme music.
Da 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 ba da ba da ba da. Where's
So,
Danny DeVito in this? What does he play?
yes, as
Jeff the
ominous
Elder.
as it's yeah.
So anyway, I started blasting.
So yeah,
This is the person I want it.
in 2 weeks, some cool stuff will be happening to Realms and to ZU in general. So
It may
Definitely.
happen before Realms.
it may happen before Realms.
happens. In fact,
Yeah.
if you've watched other streams on this channel, some people have just blatantly told you what's happening. So,
I mean, then you should go look at those other streams to see what's happening.
Yeah. So-
Or you stay tuned. That's all I have.
anyway, other announcer moments.
If you're in the Bay Area, come see Clue in
Okay.
like 3 weeks.
you're talking to the entire world. Please be more specific when you say the Bay Area.
San
Yeah, is that-
Francisco.
Green Bay or
Oh.
Tampa Bay or
The
No,
one
it's the
with
only-
Bay of
the Bay.
Biscay.
the only bay that matters.
They're
in this
so full of
situation.
themselves up there,
What
man. I
what
can't-
flavor biscuit?
You people, I swear to God. I am stage managing a production of Clue in a couple of weeks. That is going really, really well, and it's really, really funny.
By the way, for those of you that don't know, because they are never acknowledged anywhere, the stage manager is the person that actually runs the show. Like
I
the
am
director
God.
does all this
Stage
cool
manager
stuff before the show goes live, and the
I am-
actors have all this cool stuff they do on stage. But the stage manager is the one that actually makes the show work.
A stage
be
manager
clear,
is the
I am the
magician of
god.
the shows.
I am the god of the show. I call the shots. I call the shots. It's great.
fact
and
that there
very
is
stressful.
Tony Award for Best Stage Manager is a travesty.
Well, that's because all of them would win.
Not gonna lie, I forgot about the Tony Awards completely until just now. Anyway, so
A little bit. So that's the thing. Also,
Is this the same theater I
got-
saw your last thing at?
Yep. And speaking of that last theater, the last time I was here was when I had a callback for their first show of the season, and I got it.
Yeah.
I am an ensemble member in Gypsy in September,
Huzzah!
where I get to be a
Congrats.
dancer and something else. So that'll be
Congrats. That's awesome.
Thanks. I got a text from my artistic director, who is technically also my boss on Clue, and a phone call, and I'm like, "Oh, you must have information about a Clue thing." And he's like, "Oh, well, we want to offer you this role in Gypsy." And I'm like, "Oh, right. This is the other thing that I did last week. I completely forgot because I got lost in the Clue sauce in the last couple weeks
Fair.
for good reason.
Who'd have thought? You got a degree in dance and you're actually using it.
Huge if true." Absolutely huge if true. Probably the most use it's gotten in the last 4 years.
When did you get your degree? 15
2017.
years ago. Oh,
2017,
It's
and
been
then
Recently.
82 years.
in 84 years.
Yeah,
So,
Alex
yeah.
is a baby.
Alex is a baby.
I know I am the youngest person here. I am also probably the most stressed currently. Maybe,
Don't-
probably not.
Well, we're all
Stress
stressed.
comes in different forms. I just put this blanket statement out there. There's a lot of sources of stress. I know, I was dumb enough to do 3 different shows simultaneously once.
Oh.
I totally understand that theater, especially once you start getting close to Hell Week and once you get into Hell Week. But there are a lot of things that cause stress. in
Yeah,
this
I
world.
was doing 2 shows at once last week. And then I've been back to back. I have, I think, a month between Clue closing and Gypsy rehearsal starting up.
That's
and when
nice.
that
You should get
goes,
a month.
I get like a month. And so I'm like, well, what do I do in that month? Do I just chill? Do I try to travel for a little bit? But
Yes,
I'm
the
gonna end up
point of
going to
breaks
visit
between
LA
shows
is-
is to not melt your brain.
exactly.
I
'Cause
don't.
I want to do an
believe you.
LA trip at something. So, Elias, keep October open.
I might be in San Diego for part of October for TwitchCon, man.
Oh fuck, TwitchCon is that
I
Yes.
hope
it?
I hope there is a giant karaoke party for everyone that did Twitch Sings after they
Highly
murdered it.
unlikely.
I don't care. No, like just a
You,
bunch
you
of
will
Twitch
have to
Sings
put on
people.
the party
Make it.
yourselves.
I'm saying
Yeah.
just a bunch of Twitch Sings people just show up like Bat Sam and they'll just show up at a karaoke bar and it'll turn into Twitch Sings Part 2.
God.
There is
That'll work.
often I go into my Amazon Games app because I have a lot of games from being a Prime member, and I'll scroll through it. I'll eventually get to Twitch Sings beta, and I'm like, oh, because the icon's still there, despite the fact that they murdered it.
So I forgot that I had my MacBook that I use at work boot camped to Windows because I needed to go on for Assault program. And so I opened it up and it's the only icon on my desktop. I almost cried at work. Yep. So
Twitch Sings is amazing.
switching-
Was
Amazon,
was
you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yep, you ruined a wonderful
Eh.
thing.
You think like Jeff Bezos has shame?
Does he
You think
even
Jeff
work for
Bezos
Amazon
thinks about
anymore?
Twitch at all?
No.
He just thinks about how he went to space and then fans himself with a $20,000 hand fan.
And then laughs obnoxiously.
And then lights it on fire and throws it away.
Oh, did you need this money?
Come on,
oh,
get
fire!
him.
Oh!
The fan is actually comprised of just several savings bonds.
Yes. Several savings bonds and the only physical Bitcoin. He just attached it and then set it on fire.
Yep.
So yeah, I have an announcement. Last Thursday, a couple of days ago, I released a in-depth review for Avatar Legends, the role-playing game. which is the first review I have ever done before something is actually available to purchase. Like this is a preview kind of thing. Now, it has nothing to do with the people at Magpie Games caring about me at all. I was a Kickstarter backer and we got our copies before everyone else, but it's still super cool.
It is really cool.
I saw a teaser for the next Avatar movie. It looks very impressive. Yeah.
I don't entirely believe that movie is actually real. It has been so long,
I
in
mean,
development, that I
it's
feel
not
like it's
real,
still not
but-
gonna. Like, I feel like that movie's just not gonna come out.
Avatar Legends has nothing to do with blue people in space.
Just seeing Jody die when I said that. Alex, keep going with it.
Avatar Last Airbender and all the bending styles are made up to real martial arts. Like water bending is Tai Chi and earth bending is Hung Gar. And it's real kung fu and it's super cool. And
Hey,
each of
listen,
the
Avatar
nations
The
is
Last
based off of
Airbender
real
remake
people.
happened.
Like the water tribes are based on like Inuit people, and the Earth Kingdom is China, and the Fire Nation is Japan.
It sounds like they're putting more effort into the game than M. Night Shyamalan did at all.
Did I ever
No, that
tell
was
you
from the
guys-
actual original series. Like all that stuff, they did massive amounts of research for Avatar: The Last Airbender, and
Something
Like-
I hope that the Netflix show does. Just
I'm terrified of what the Netflix show is.
Netflix doesn't have a great track record of adapting, so
I never saw the original series, and then the movie came out. The M. Night Shyamalan movie came out, and I was like, I heard this was good. Let's go see this movie. And I saw the movie, and I was just like, that was interesting. I wonder what the series is like. And so then it caused me to watch the series. So you have the movie to thank for me watching all the animated series.
It's really
That's
good.
rough,
Avatar:
buddy.
The Last Airbender is brilliant. Seasons 1 and 2 of Legend of Korra are brilliant.
Let's talk about the movie.
we
So,
don't
Yeah,
talk
that-
about
Anyway.
the movie. No.
Oh, no.
I was really
Yeah.
proud of the review. I think the book itself is amazing. It's supposed to come out, I think, in like Q3, so in a few months here. So yeah, check out my review. I talk about the damn thing for 2 hours, but it's interesting. And the system itself is really cool.
Just like the
too.
movie.
Yeah, no, nothing like the movie.
Well, the duration.
Actually, I think my in-depth review of the RPG clocks in longer than M. Night Shyamalan's movie.
Holy crap, Jody.
And it's still more entertaining. But no, they actually use a system from Powered by the Apocalypse, which has a bunch. I think the Powered by the Apocalypse system is either open source or super easy to license, because there's crap tons of games that use Powered by the Apocalypse, and it's a really cool system. So very
what's it
very
based
narrative
on?
focused.
What's
Powered by the
di-
Apocalypse is the system it's based
No.
on.
Well, what's the die that it is there like
Oh,
a
it's
primary die?
2d6.
Oh, it's just a 2d6 game.
Yeah, you only ever roll 2d6. Your highest modifier, I think, is a +3 to anything. It is entirely narrative based. It's a really, really cool system. If you are really into like crunchy RPGs, like Pathfinder or something like that, you probably won't like this.
Is it like similar in vein to like Vampire the Masquerade and those like that kind of stuff?
Kind of. There's less crunch than Vampire the Masquerade. Vampire the Masquerade is a little bit rules light. It explain what actually getting
Playing it.
Yeah, but it works really, really well. Everything is based on what they call moves, and
Cool.
everything is kind of narrated. So yeah, it's super cool. So anyway, I was proud of that. And next week, Monday, actually, they moved it back a day. The new D&D book launches, and so I will have a review of that a few hours after it goes live, despite the fact that the book has existed since January, and they
Because
just
it
didn't
was
offer
only because you had to buy like 3 books and like 2 other.
$130 to get that damn book, and I already owned 2 of the 3 books in it. So no, I wasn't going to pay extra for it.
I already pre-ordered it on Beyond, which
yeah.
actually Wait a minute. Hold on. Are we even able to use it because don't they get integrated into Wizards on Monday or Tuesday?
All that happens once they get integrated into Wizards is who owns your data changes.
Yeah.
The actual website doesn't.
I hope I'm still able to log in through my Twitch, or do I need to make it, or am I going to have to use
No,
a different account?
Logins and stuff like that doesn't change. It's who owns it.
That's what I figured. It's like
while they do the server changeover, though, service login may be down for a little bit.
Yeah, I think they mentioned that like on or after, which is that happens, but it happens on Wednesday. So we get like a day.
Hey, check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Trader Jody. I've got cool stuff there. Any other announcer moments?
Let's be honest, Trainer Jody, you always have cool stuff there.
Yeah.
Come now. Come
Kinda.
now.
I mean, I think it depends on your definition of cool.
Come now.
I'm at almost 600 subscribers now.
Hey.
Wow.
I'm only 400 away from being allowed to monetize my channel again after they ripped it away from me because they're like, well, you're too small. We don't care about you.
I think that's more than I have.
That's more than I have. But then again, I've been having no time to make any content. I haven't streamed in like months. This is the most stream I do at this point.
I think at this point I have something like 2,000 videos on my YouTube channel. D&D Deep Dive alone, I have 250, I think now I'm going on. I know it's over 200, so yeah,
Go ahead.
good.
No, go ahead.
I've only been doing this for like 9 years. I'm getting close to my decade of being on YouTube for a decade, and so I'm at almost 600 subscribers after nearly a decade of doing this. So
good shit though. We love that.
That's over 60 a year.
Wow.
barely.
Do you
That's
have
how math works.
your all the games that you host on your channel on your YouTube?
My D&D stuff is on my my YouTube channel. I both
Like Veils?
yeah, Traversing the Veil is there, and Legend of the Three Kingdoms. My other campaign that ended a few years ago, Kingdom of the Kale Isle, that whole series is there.
Cool.
I think most of my parody campaign that Leah and Elias are in is on another kind of defunct channel now called The Daily Elixir. Or no, it's not The Daily Elixir.
Oh my
Daily
god. Deep cut.
Daily Elixir was a different one.
Deep cut.
That no one remembers. No, it's on, what was it called?
The All for Geek Alliance.
All for Geek Alliance. There we go. The All for Geek Alliance. Daily Elixir was effectively, I tried to start a multi-channel network with some people that did not need to be starting a multi-channel network, and it blew up.
I'm gonna cool you. I'll be right back.
It was hilarious.
Oh.
Wow. I have not thought about.
I hadn't heard that name in about 10 years.
Wow. The dude that I did it with,
That you started the channel with, for
Yeah.
clarification.
I mean, you don't
he
know.
insisted that we called him King.
Like as his, that was his like online name or whatever.
His online name was King Tosh,
Was it?
and he didn't want us to call him Tosh. It was
As long as you
weird.
didn't have to call him my king.
My liege.
My liege.
I still am somewhat proud and just humorous of the fact that if you ever can find his Twitter account, the last tweet he ever tweeted was whenever I premiered my show, and he was just like, "Hey, that's really cool." And then there's no further tweets after that.
Yeah, he kind of disappeared. There was it's a defunct thing. I can talk about this now. It was incorporated. Like it was actually, I think it was an LTD, or an LLC.
LLC.
And we had people sign contracts that were completely worthless. Like he got a contract form online and then made some changes to do it. And one of the changes he made is the contract on top said something about, it used the phrase without remuneration, which means you're not getting paid for this. And then on the bottom of the contract, it said, we will pay you $1. And that was done intentionally. Contracts without money are remarkably significantly harder to enforce. But as soon as money changes hands, that creates a legally binding agreement as far as common law is concerned. So just by paying everyone $1, we had a significantly more solid contract than having them sign this legal to the document. But because the contract said without remuneration, and then below it, it said, we'll pay you $1, it made the contract completely pointless and completely unenforceable in any court in the world. So yeah, it was just a massive screw up. The power went to somebody's head, and then
Mine.
it dissolved. It went to Eliza's head. Yeah. Were you? I can't even.
I was
remember.
not involved in that whatsoever.
Were you involved in that cluster? No. So anyway,
looked from the sidelines with popcorn in hand.
The All for Geek Alliance was the collab channel that I started with a buddy named Jens, who is still one of the coolest dudes ever. And yeah, most of my
Jens doesn't prefer us for him to call him King.
Yeah, no, he was the vlog father, I think we call it, or the hangout something or something like that. He was a cool guy.
That's a fitting name.
He used to do these Google Hangouts all the time, and he was amazing. We actually had, I think it's still up there, we had the CEO of I think it was Patreon. Before Patreon got big, we had him on, I think it was called Global Geekend or something like that, talking about, how unique crowdfunding was and stuff like that. And so, yeah, we got to meet. He had this whole interview. He also, we also had another dude that did a show about voiceover and stuff like that. And he actually got Jeremy Lay, who's the voice of a billion people, but she plays Asuna in Sword Art Online, and everything else. She's one of the big names in dubbing. I believe for Funimation before Funimation stopped existing as its own thing. But
isn't Funimation still around, or are they now? They're now owned by Sony.
They're owned by Crunchyroll,
which is then owned by Sony.
I don't know. I mean, the Funimation website still works, and there's still a couple anime there that have not made it under the Crunchyroll app, which annoys the hell out of me. My personal favorite anime is called Baka and Test: Summon the Beast, because it is nonsense.
It sounds like nonsense.
It is about a school where you take a test at the beginning of your second year, and it places you into class A through F. And depending on your rank academically, class A gets like catered lunches and big leather chairs and that. Class F gets cardboard boxes for desks, and and the whole thing is to motivate students to do better. Is they can summon these little avatars of themselves and have little battles with other classes, and whoever wins gets the other class's stuff. And your avatar's power levels are based on your test scores. And that is the entire premise of this nonsense anime. And it is hilarious.
Reminds me of third grade.
Surprisingly enough, reminds me of third grade as well. In third grade, I learned everything I needed to know in elementary school. In third grade, because Wisconsin is a frozen wasteland in the winter, We made
As
this.
Wisconsin is.
Yeah, we made this giant snow fort on the playground, and this other group made another snow fort on the other side of the playground. And I learned tactics and warfare in third grade because we were constantly trying to take over this. And then fourth grade, I learned economics because bead lizards were a huge thing, and there were two groups that made bead lizards and sold them for real money on the playground. And I was in one of the groups that sold bead lizards.
Oh, interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, it was a cutthroat thing because you had to be on the cutting edge because like it started off with like you make these little bead snakes.
Yeah.
Uh,
My sister used to do that, make all these different animals and things. And
Jake's
but
like,
she
when we
used to
started-
I
give them
know
out to
about
her
the bead
friends.
lizards.
the
Yeah.
snakes were the only things that existed. Everyone loves that, but then we're like, oh, we've got to innovate. So we started making, dinosaurs and bird. Like we just started getting creative. It's like, oh, we'll quarter the market on none of this. My elementary school was very strange.
It sounds like it. Yeah, by third grade, I had finished all the books in my library, and I had a teacher who was so old school that she would drop a dictionary on your desk and hit your knuckles with a ruler and pinch your face hard enough to bruise it. And I was her favorite, and she would still do that to me.
To this
Wow.
The parents were kind of mad, but they couldn't do anything because it was like one of her last years, and she was like,
day. Do things how I want.
they literally
was
could not
10
do anything to her. She was like, the school refused to get rid of her. But yeah, that was fun. Early 90s, it was a weird time.
90s, yeah. Looking
I had a
back,
teacher once that called me a liar because my parents didn't approve of a book she was reading to the class because I grew up in a very conservative Christian household, and they thought Matilda was about witchcraft. Don't
Oh.
ask me why.
Totally, because there's magical powers.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I wasn't allowed to listen to her
An
read
adoption.
this book. So they banished me to a class, an office with no lights for an hour, like once or twice a week.
So you took
because
a
I
nap?
No, I tried to read because there was windows, so there's ambient light.
I feel that.
And then, the next book that she announced was called The Witches, and I immediately said, I'm pretty sure if my parents didn't like Matilda, they're
The
not
Witches
going to like
is not
The
going to be
Witches.
better.
I wonder if
And
turning
she
back-
called me a liar
I
in
wonder
front of the entire class.
if turning back
That's
the
okay,
mileage
that's-
in a car is considered witchcraft.
Yes.
It's
and putting
considered
sawdust in
fraud.
it.
I
That's
I
okay.
had
The same teacher who would pinch our faces would also call us liars. So yeah.
FYI,
And tell us we were
folks.
useless. The younger kids who weren't her favorite, she would call useless.
FYI, folks, calling
Gross.
children liars, not the greatest idea, especially when they're abuse victims that were told if they talked about their abuse, people would call them liars. It's a really bad idea. So be careful what you say to kids.
It's a really bad idea in general. Like
Yeah,
you
just don't
do that.
minimalize people's abuse.
Don't call kids like, I mean, unless they're blatantly lying, which children do.
Quite
Don't
often,
define-
yes.
Yes, I mean, it's not like kids don't lie, but don't like just boil them down to, oh, you are a liar. No, they lied.
But it's
Let
actually
them know that lying is wrong.
well, and it's actually a really good mental exercise for younger kids. Yes, they're lying, and we don't appreciate that because we have logic, but it's but it's actually really, really beneficial for them. As weird as that sounds. Anyway, sorry.
Childhood psychology is an absolutely fascinating subject that I think a lot of people should research because it's remarkable how many people never get out of childhood psychology mindsets.
Yeah.
Specifically people that complain to managers in retail.
Or the
Mhm.
like baby and toddler egocentrism that they never grew out of. Their entire lives.
You just used a lot of words there that I'm not entirely sure what we're talking about anymore.
Fair. So basically, just the world revolves around you. Most people aren't as important,
Oh,
and so you don't have to think about their perspectives of things. So
The really interesting thing, and I can't remember which psychologist came up with this theory. Apparently, it's not 100% accepted, but it makes sense to me as these kind of levels of maturity. Basically, you start off very self-focused, and then as you mature psychologically, you become more focused on the world, which is interesting. But the most interesting part is once you go to like the next level of awareness, the level before sounds crazy to you, and you cannot understand how anyone could have thought that way.
That explains why the Sith run around like they're a bunch of hormonal teenagers with powers.
Yeah, it's because they are hormonal teenagers with powers. I mean,
I don't like sand.
what is the marshmallow
It's
test?
coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. God.
Well, to be fair, I think in that particular scene, he might have actually been a teenager.
I think the
he
marshmallow test
in
is
fairness.
that the one where they put a marshmallow in front of a kid and they said, hey, if you don't eat this marshmallow, I'll give you 2 later, and then they leave the kid alone with the marshmallow for like 10 minutes.
Oh,
It's a fascinatingly simple
Shell
test.
and colleague.
I remember, like, I don't remember why, a specific moment in childhood when I had asked my mom, like, when are we going to do something? She's like, give me 10 minutes. And I was just like, okay, 10 minutes. And that 10 minutes felt like 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just like, how is this taking so long? Surely it's been 10 minutes.
Interesting. They found that delayed gratification in childhood and future academic achievement garnered a great deal of attention.
Mhm.
The result is the marshmallow test became one of the most psychological experiments in history. That's so fascinating.
Isn't it cool? It is literally just a marshmallow.
Gratification and environmental reliability. Oh, that's
Mhm.
really cool.
It's crazy how, especially when people will try to like tell you, it's like, well, it's a scientific study, you can't understand it. No, scientific studies are not remarkably difficult to learn how to understand. You just have to learn the big words.
Yeah.
And not even that, you just have to learn how to look up the big words for the most part.
And there are some that are surprisingly simple. Like I really want to do a study about how sporks carry less food and are more beneficial for people who have swallowing disorders.
Really?
That's a study I want to complete, like my own personal one. But yeah, so I did a case study with my grandmother with just eating oatmeal, which is really sticky and it's fairly easy to pick up on a spoon, and just because of the structure, and there are different size forks too. And so, and like, have you ever tried picking up a piece of meat with a fork? You have to do very small pieces, so which slows down your rate of consumption, which is what people with dysphagia need to do. But older gentlemen are just like, and so anyway.
Interesting stuff.
And that's going to be what's in my paper. Older gentlemen are just like, raw.
For the longest time, back when I could work, and I thought that retail was a viable career choice for anyone. It's not, by the way.
That's cute.
Yeah. I had really, really good success with my training programs, and one of the things I've found is retail in general had shifted from one-on-one training or actually having a trainer in a store to going to mostly computerized training, and it had dropped job proficiency massively. Like, we just had people that would do these computer training programs that pretended to teach you how to like run a cash register, and then would be completely incapable of actually using a real cash register, which is not a really complicated thing. And then more difficult things like sales was just pointless. So I wanted to eventually go to my district manager and go, hey, listen, give me 3 stores. 3 stores. This is the thing that I'm going to do on them. We would use these as test stores. I'm going to document everything, and I'm going to write a paper or something on this, because the amount of money you guys waste making people take, I think it was like 20 or 30 hours worth of computer training you had to do before you could actually work in this as a store. I said, the amount of time that you guys waste that I could cover in literally an hour of one-on-one training with each associate is mind-boggling. And even if your trainer is the top paid person in the store, so they make like $9 an hour instead of $8.50, because we're massively underpaid. I will still save you billions of dollars on the year if you just let me do this, and we'll make you more money. But then I had a nervous breakdown and stopped working in retail and actually went to college to get a degree, so I never had to set foot in a retail store again.
What if you need to buy something?
I order.
Okay,
I
sorry.
kid you not, I have not walked into a store in like 4 years. Most of that is because I don't leave my house, but even before I became completely agoraphobic, I avoided stores like the plague. Especially since after working in retail for a long enough time, you do things like you face shelves when you're just walking past them, which is just turning things so that all the labels are out and pulling product forward.
See, I thought
still do that.
you
I
just
go into
meant
stores and I
turning
still
to look
do
at
that.
shelves and just
Laser
facing them.
line? Yes.
Yep, I would
Still
readjust
laser line.
price
I laser
tags.
lined in my own house.
Mm-hmm. I would change price tags, not change them, but you adjust them so that they're the left won't.
Mhm.
They're at the
You're
the
now
leftmost product
instead of
and
20.
the amount of psychology that has gone into how to set up your store. Things like if your shelves look fuller, they don't have to be fuller. You don't have to have more product. If it just looks fuller, people buy more. Or like with the whole daylight savings thing, the reason this we're gonna forever be a daylight savings time is a complete and utter lie, is because daylight savings time was never about saving daylight. People buy more when the sun is out. And so the reason daylight savings existed is because it shifted opening hours so that more of them were during light hours during the winter time.
I will say, to go back to the laser lining thing, in grocery stores, that's not always true, because if people see that there's empty spots in a certain item versus the other ones, the people think it's more popular. So, and it makes it it's typically a little bit more expensive. And so they will actually go for the lower stocked item.
Even more interesting. But that technically only works when you have multiple of the same item with different qualities. When you look at the entire store, especially if you aren't having multiple brands or you sell mostly store brands, full shelves are significantly more beneficial.
Yeah.
Again, this is the stuff I had to learn as a manager. It was nuts.
So how are you today, Alex?
I'm exhausted, and I am like, the fact is, like, I know a lot of these these terminologies at retail, just like knows that I've been in the game for way too long, and I need to get out.
This was a foreign language to me. That's how you can tell I never worked in it.
Must be nice.
Wait till we start talking about shrink policies and
oh god, no.
D&D is my favorite thing in the world. Damaged and defective. And most of the people I met at every store that worked with a D&D played D&D. I think it was a prerequisite to be an operations manager.
I a bunch of my friends in retail when I worked at Best Buy in New Jersey were D&D people, and I played D&D with them, and then they broke and then that was how I got one of my real fun stories where folks, pro tip, when you're a DM and someone says, "Can I have this item?" Be sure to read everything about that item so you don't accidentally give them something that is going to wreck your life.
Did you give someone a deck of many things?
No, I didn't get that far, but I gave someone the bag of beans.
Yep, that's a fun one.
So, for those who do not know, bag of beans is a wonderful legendary item in D&D, and you get, I believe, 10 or you get 3d4. I gave him like 10. And you can dump either a bean out or a bunch of beans out, and they explode in a radius, and then something happens. Or you can create an effect. So, one of the effects is a pyramid with a 60-foot square bursting upward, with a mummy lord inside. I was running my friends through a dungeon within a tree. They were going through. They were fighting.
I fought that gym in Pokemon.
Yes, it's a good gym. They were following a lead on a. Hold on, let me get the specific thing here. They were responding to an ad from a farmer outside of town claiming that witches were stealing his livestock and sacrificing them to a god in the deep forest. They spent the night there. And then outside, the world around them goes pitch black, and all the cows are gone. They go run into the forest, fight a bunch of like animated trees, find the entrance to this tree dungeon thing. They go in. One of them throws a bean into the mouth of one of the like dog things that I had thrown at them. Rolled a 92, causes this gigantic pyramid to spawn, killing the rest of the dogs that are there, and basically now splitting part of the tree. So this giant tree now has a pyramid in it, and it made so
I
much
remember
noise
you
that the
telling us
witches-
about this and complaining about it for days.
Correct. Well, then, so I have like 4 days to make it a dungeon, and so like here's the question: what do you put in a pyramid dungeon?
I feel
Undead, right? So we get to the first room in that dungeon, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's a zombie ogre and all that stuff, and it's like, oh, so they're undead. Yeah. Okay, cool. I cast control undead. Fuck. Completely forgetting that I had a paladin in the party. And so that one session was 2 hours of Alex fights himself. And I had to rework the entire second half, all because of a fucking bag of beans.
Did you have to?
You don't-
You
did you happen to
should have
record
made
that?
Huh?
Did you happen to record that 2 hours of fighting yourself?
I did. And I actually have the clip of the realization that I had fucked up.
See, you should have made the pyramid full of like scarab beetles or something equally as terrifying as things that can.
I didn't think about that because I hadn't really done a lot of DMing at
Yeah.
that point. In
There's a lot of things you can put in if you want to be
Pyramids.
Egyptian themed. Like
More
I got
trees.
Tasha just to look. I got Tasha just to look at all the puzzles.
animated statues.
It would have been good too. Fuck.
They have Anubis. I don't think that they have stat blocks for them for fifth edition, but in previous editions they had like Anubis. They had entire Egyptian things. So they had like Anubis statues and jackal statues.
Gotcha. Well, that's why I got Tasha's to begin with, because I had an entire section of that book about puzzles and riddles.
Just watch SG1 and like steal all the ideas for that. Like they fought Egyptian gods constantly.
Fair enough.
I threw a puzzle
That's
at
the
my
worst
group
one.
once, and they did not. It did not happen.
Was this the puzzle? Was this the group with like Dan Hutton and all that?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, they're not a puzzle.
Or if you,
group.
if you really want to have fun, instead of Egyptian pyramids, you can go like South American pyramids, and you can fill them up with anacondas.
Snakes. Very good. Very dangerous.
Scorpions are another one that are a lot of fun.
Yeah. The other really dumb one that I had, similar situation, not necessarily.
I
Similar
swear we will eventually start playing this game, folks.
No, we won't. No, we
But
won't.
this is typical for us, especially since we started on time.
Doesn't matter if we start on time, folks. We're not playing the game until we're totally done.
Yeah,
Yep.
and we may
Yep.
not be. The other really dumb one that happened, because I use the 5th edition like dungeon generator, and that includes like I'll roll for magical items that go in there. The necklace of fireballs is one that, in hindsight, was a little too overpowered. Because
The absolute best way to fix a necklace of fire rooms that are never larger than 40 feet by 40 feet.
so then it hit everything.
Yes. It is one of the most enjoyable things to see them sitting there thinking, wait a minute, I'll get hit. Dang it.
I threw it. I gave them one because the dungeon gave them one because I rolled on it. And it's like, okay, cool. It had like 7 beads, basically equivalent to a 9th level spell. They threw it at the big bad of that thing. And like it cheesed it so bad because then I rolled so badly on initiative that I couldn't do anything. and they were level like it was supposed to be like a near deadly encounter for level 4, and they cheesed the shit out of it, and I went, "Welp."
The one thing I'm interested about with Monsters of the Multiverse finally coming out in digital form is they claim that they've reworked challenge rating a little bit.
Oh, with
And they've
Monsters of the Multiverse?
reworked stat blocks and other things like that, because right now challenge rating is almost pointless in balancing and kick encounters.
I feel like I use CR very. I don't really use challenge rating at this point. I look at it to make sure it's not going to be deadly, but like the problem is I think it's all still based on XP, which not a lot of people I think are actively using now. They're using milestone.
Well, I don't think I have thrown anything less than a deadly encounter at most of my parties now, and they never have problems with it.
But are they also only doing that one counter per long rest?
Well, yeah, I don't put the 5 to 7 encounters a day that I'm supposed to, but
yeah, if I'm only doing like one major encounter, or the Lost Dungeons I did a couple of like small easy encounters, and one encounter ended up being them solving an argument that was basically me referencing Unladen Swallows, and it worked because not all encounters have to be fighting. So, but I haven't been able to really do much because of Clue. So I have some rating to work on, but it's
anyway. So announcements
all the way back. This podcast episode is sponsored by us and our bullshit.
I have an announcement. There's only 19 days left of torture for me.
I don't know what that means, but I'm happy for you.
Elaborate.
Working in the schools.
Oh.
So are you like officially like you are not going back to school stuff again?
God, I hope not. There are plenty of post-acute positions, and there's actually a center, but it's like an hour and a half north of me, which is the same direction as traffic in the morning. So I don't know if I actually want to do that, but it's super cool and interesting, and I really, really, really want it. But
hour and a half commute is not fun.
Yeah,
hour and a half without traffic.
Gross.
Which doesn't actually exist in California.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Traffic, California?
Yeah.
No, I mean without traffic doesn't exist. That is a mythical land like Narnia.
If you drive
San Diego,
at like 3 a.m. sometimes.
Well, and that's
There
for
are,
LA.
like,
San
set
Diego
pieces of
kind of has,
The
exactly.
Bay Area,
kind of
it depends. Bay Area, it depends on the time. Like San Francisco, if you're hitting it at like 4 to 6, there's a chance that it might still be pretty open, but it generally isn't sometimes. Weekends are usually okay.
It also depends on the time of day and what direction you're going. Because like if you're going north in the morning, you're screwed. If you're going south in the afternoon, you're screwed. So.
If you're going at any other time, it's fine. And sometimes you could be going in those directions where you could, and you're usually okay. It really depends. There's no straight answer.
Right.
See, here in Wisconsin, we don't worry about traffic because our weather is so screwed up that it doesn't matter where you're driving. I kid you not.
Oh, you need to go there? No, you don't.
Wednesday, the Wisconsin Weather Service posted a tweet stating that in Milwaukee, it was 41 degrees Fahrenheit. In Madison, which is about an hour west, it was in the mid 70s. And then in Mineral Point, which is another hour west, it was 91. In Wisconsin, you can drive 2 hours west and go from late winter to midsummer.
Wisconsin, we need to talk. Like, can you pick a season? You pick a season and just stick with it for a day?
We are lucky enough that Wisconsin, we have 5 seasons. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you have
almost winter, still winter. I can't believe it's still winter, and road construction.
Yes.
I love how one of them is I can't believe it's still winter. Yes, the offshoot of I can't believe it's not butter.
Had a blizzard in late April.
Wow. Oh my God. I know like New York's also been having some like ridiculous weather.
That's because it's New York, and everybody hates New York, including Mother Nature.
Well, New York, I think nobody likes New York and New Jersey in general, apparently.
New York.
So I've learned. I'm sorry. It's only New Jersey, apparently. Thank you, Elias.
You're right.
This fucking guy. Listen, for what it's worth, pretty much most of the time that you've known me, Elias, I have lived in New Jersey.
I'm aware.
And that has not.
It was a
it's
very
like that
long
doesn't mean
conversation
anything.
between Elias and I where we're going, really? We're going to let someone from New Jersey on the show?
I
was
mean,
like, I don't personally have
I
the
mean,
bias
I
against New
do
York, but Elias
have
is
a-
dead set against it. Like
I do have a position of power over Elias, technically.
That's cute. That
Not
you
like
think
that.
it's cute
Not
that
like
you
it's
think
really.
that.
I mean, that's not like it means anything. Like,
Anyway,
I'm technically above
Can
him,
I
but
can
not
I time
really.
us? Can I time us out? We're missing one person, and we're still 10 minutes over when we normally start.
We're missing
So,
two people.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, Ilea doesn't. Just not having Ilea doesn't mean anything in this situation. You
It
know
just means
that.
less singing happens in general.
And
So
let's talk about
anyway,
research paper. Yeah, exactly. I meant one person.
I think
who's
it's
like,
time
Oh,
We're
wait,
gonna
for us
have
to
We're gonna have
return.
to learn her music for Pirates of Penzance.
to the
Yeah,
realms of the wild.
Must we?
The party is in Goron City.
I'm
gonna lie.
The music cut out.
I can't remember what happened.
No, that's it. Oh, we got attacked
Oh,
by all
so
those.
We're in Goron City.
Donalfos and
we got
Lizalfos.
attacked.
I blew up the floor.
You
Oh,
did blow
yeah.
up the floor. Did anything else Chat help?
No, that was pretty much it. We talked about our options, and then Orcs attacked.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, we
Hey, Chad,
decided
thank
to
you.
go somewhere. You're welcome. We decided to go somewhere. Where did we
Where-
decide to go? Who
I
took
don't
notes?
remember.
I don't know. I don't know if we decided, but we talked.
I don't think
about
there was
it.
a
Jack, do you think-
decision as much as there was.
Do you think that we take notes?
Sometimes
We talked about options. Oh, there was actually. So I wrote something down on my character sheet that I was like about to bring up in conversation, and then the attack happened, and I was just like, I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget to bring it up next time.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yes.
There is still one pun that I've been waiting to make for like 8 months.
I hate that.
I want to hear it.
I wish you
Wait, I
hadn't
have to
told me
wait.
about that. I'm gonna be constantly
waiting.
on
There
guard.
is several, but there's one
You
that
can't kick her out of the show, Elias. Yeah.
Do you remember how often it ran when I wasn't here?
Hello, dog. So yeah, I think we ended right as the encounter ended.
I don't remember. Hold on, I'll pull up the episode.
So
Okay.
there's likely some property
I
damage.
believe it ended right as I mentioned. Up until this point, you have been the only people that have been able to travel
Right,
through
yes.
the rifts.
Important detail.
And one of the Dinolphos very clearly came from a rift from the power river realm.
Yeah, and then it closed, and then we stole the tech off of all of the dead creature's arms and other body parts. So we have a whole bunch of tech for Cass whenever she
from different realms, evidently.
from different
Yeah.
realms. Yeah.
Whenever Kiri is able to join us again, I will have her roll for the stuff that she discovers off of this. But I think we can safely assume she has been scavenging Urathan. Oh, and Arel finally got to use other Arel's Shadow Blade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't
Oh,
even
yeah.
see the episode from last week on
I totally
on our
wish that-
collections.
Oh, it's not in
It's
the
fair
collection.
because I watched it.
Oh, there it is.
You have to go watch past broadcasts and videos. But yeah, I went back and I was like all of the Nightcrawler eclipses. Like, I should have done that. It was so cool. It was so cool. Anyway.
Well, that was interesting. By the way, I'm down here, guys.
Oh, hi.
I'm alive.
Oh.
Hi.
I'm alive.
Oh, hello.
What the
Hello.
hell did you do?
I blew up a lot of stuff trying to kill
Typical.
some of the Lizalfos.
Yeah, that much was
You
obvious.
suddenly see another Goron kind of lean over the hole here and go, "Hey, Runa, are you okay down there?"
Yeah, I'm good. Also, hey, did you know there's lava down like right under this tunnel?
Yeah, that's the heating system, man.
Oh.
Oh.
that's
Hadn't-
supposed to
hadn't
be
come up
there.
There
before.
needs to be a heating system?
Oh yeah,
I mean-
it's a whole thing. There's the environment here is very, very delicate and complicated, as you might imagine if you live on a volcano.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that, but okay.
Well,
I
we
imagine
just-
We were
You
really
needed a
proud for a
heating
while.
system
We had
for
heated
this.
floors.
oh yeah, I remember
Ooh,
those.
that's nice. We didn't
That
have
was-
heated floors.
That was nice. Well, you live in the sky.
Anyway,
so-
Runa,
I'm kind of glad you didn't, because we would have burned. Just
maybe
walking
if
around.
Correct.
maybe if you don't blow any more things up until we fix this, that might
Yeah,
be for the
no,
best.
I don't plan on it. I was only just trying to kill the enemies.
No, totally get it, Runa. I mean, they
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Also, I
giant
blew up my
robot
own
dinosaurs.
workshop, which, granted, I hadn't used in a while, but that was sad. So.
Oh, that was your workshop.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
Actually, if you
That
want to
was
look
me,
it
I thought.
over, anything that was in the workshop is kind of destroyed, but the
Right.
workshop itself is great.
Oh
you
yeah,
guys
no,
built
I
that
meant the
to
stuff in the
last.
workshop because that was the important, the work and everything. But most of it's up here anyway. So as long as I don't blow up my brain, everything should be safe.
Well,
idea.
just
well,
be careful. 'Cause
yeah,
brains are
smart one.
remarkably fragile.
Yeah, they're a
things.
lot softer than all the
They're
stuff that
very-
was in that workshop, even for
They're very
morons.
Yeah.
squishy. Just
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
can be very
did you want-
delicious.
Do you want a snack while you're down there or something?
Oh
We're
no,
gonna
I'm
go
just
out
gonna
and
get on back up and
Okay.
regroup. But yeah, no, thank you for the offer. And if you need any help rebuilding the floor, let me know.
Oh, we're fine with the floor. I
Okay,
mean,
great.
again, we don't want you blowing up more stuff, but
No,
giant
yeah.
robot dinosaurs probably a
Yeah,
lot
no,
worse.
that
than
was a
broken
surprise,
floor.
wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
that happen
Is
often?
this something that normally happens with you guys?
Not well, sort of, but not really. But
Maybe
kind of.
Are there like an area?
maybe
with
you want to
buffaloes around
warn
here?
people when you come into a new city that magic robot dinosaurs
Right.
will sometimes follow you. 'Cause
Right,
Well,
but this
I-
isn't.
on that,
That
we
was the
might have
first
prepared a
time.
little more.
Well, see, we
That was
didn't
a
know
first
either.
time for us, yeah.
So that's why I said
Oh.
not really.
This is
so.
a little. This is a little.
Totally
new.
got it.
So
I don't-
from now this point forward, here's the warning.
Yeah, we'll know this moving forward, and then we'll go. Hi, nice to meet you. By the way, shit might go down. Just be
Protect
prepared,
your
and
town.
Guys,
Like,
maybe we
how
should
did-
set
we're
up camp
sorry.
outside of cities from now on.
maybe a good call.
It's probably not
Well,
a bad
considering
idea.
that the
It's,
last-
not
It's a
that we
lot
don't-
hotter outside the city here, though. Like, I don't know if
I
you would
mean-
survive for very long.
It's not that we
I-
don't absolutely adore having you here, Aruna. I mean, you're
mean,
great.
not the-
Your mom and dad are great. It's
Yeah.
it's just
Oh, mom and dad.
it's a
Hey,
lot of work.
hey, mom
mean,
and
not the
dad, are
call-
you guys okay?
Yeah, we're fine, honey.
Great.
You did
You're
so
used to
good
him
with
things
your
out.
bombs. We're so proud of you. You saved the whole city.
Well, I had help. Oh, hey, speaking
mean-
of help, Pierre, could you help me get out of the hole, please?
Oh,
Oh, did
sure.
you need help getting out of the hole? We can create a Goron line down there if you need it.
Well, it's like 20 feet, but sure, if you think that's necessary.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. I mean, we're on break anyways.
Well, I would
Uh,
imagine most people are on break after that. So,
Yeah, well, I mean, 2 breaks a day, union rules. So even if
Forgot
the
about the
world's
union,
going
you're
down,
right.
Well,
you
then
don't
you have-
you don't piss
hey,
off the union.
Appreciate the unions, though. Always appreciate
Yeah.
the unions.
Yeah.
So
If you're
yeah, we'll get a
professional.
couple. And you see him just as he's talking, he just kind of wanders off. About for 5 minutes later, there's about half a dozen Gorons that just start grabbing the ankles of the person, and they just lower themselves down. Grab
thanks,
on,
guys. I
Aruna.
appreciate it.
As that all happens, I look at around and go, well, considering the last time we were also in a town, what happened then? maybe go at not being in towns and like making camp outside might be smart.
I have a random question. What are the Gorons wearing? Because I can imagine them upside down. Do they actually wear pants?
Have fun with this, Jody.
They
Please don't get us demonetized or take it off of Twitch. Thank you.
No, unless
I'm
he
just
posts the
curious, like, if
picture
everyone-
in the
if
Roll 20
everyone-
game.
all the other
we're good.
Gorons wear pants, then
they
that brings up-
have a thing that is effectively a mawashi, which is a traditional garment that sumos wear. They effectively have that. Some of them will also add like a sarong or a loincloth or something in addition to that. But bare minimum, both men and women will most generally will wear that mawashi style thing.
Okay.
But
Sorry,
due to
just
just kind of their
curious.
proportions, like their legs and their body is so their lower body is so small compared to their upper body.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah,
of times you
skip leg
can't
day.
really see what they're wearing because it's kind of covered by the rest of their Goronness.
I imagine it's easier to turn into your ball form with smaller legs that you can like tuck in. So
I just like the image of Pierre trying to talk to Arel about this, and Arel's just looking around at the Gorons instead, completely not paying attention.
Or else doing one of these things.
No, she's not
She would never
that
try to
ashamed
cover her
of her
gaze.
work. No, it's pretty obvious.
No, she's just sitting there. She's like, so that's what they're working with. Interesting.
Pretty much.
You'd think she'd be familiar by now, but you
The
know.
more you know.
Hey, we haven't gotten very far.
I am not commenting on the physical relationships between two of the characters in my made-up world. That is entirely cut to black.
Fair.
That's why.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. You know, you really should visit more often. Maybe next time don't bring the robo dinosaurs. But,
I
you know,
didn't
it's
bring
always
them.
a good time.
But yeah, no, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
Okay,
So
well,
we're just gonna get some hot rocks.
Okay.
If you or your friends want to join us, you're more than welcome.
let me see what they're thinking, and then I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Hey, guys,
Hi.
good work out there.
Yes, that was interesting. I liked your big explosion.
Me too. That's why I did it.
It was very effective.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It took out, and he just fell right into the heating system. Actually, that might clog it up. We should check that.
If it survived, if there's anything left. 'Cause
Well, even if it's dead, like the body or what's left of it after the lava has its way with it, you know, there's chunks, potential chunk problem. I'm not that familiar with Dynalphos physiology, especially ones from other realms. Hey, did that one come from like another realm? Just like, you know, willy
yeah,
nilly.
did you see the tear thing and then how it closed? Like it was.
I saw
being
it closing,
affected by its
but I
will.
didn't see it open. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That-
it was really interesting.
that was new.
And they didn't have a Trifork.
No. Well, are we sure? Did we loot them?
No,
Yes.
did we leave?
Yes.
Cass, have you
Oh,
found a
yeah, it's like
Trifork?
taking
Cass has been taking detailed notes and inventory of everything she just found.
Hey, that's great, Cass.
She's-
Can we get like maybe a thumbs
She's
up or
taken
thumbs
over
down?
part of your workshop to
there's just a
categorize.
building. It's
yeah. There are shells built into the wall that weren't exploded, so she has already started. Like she's jotting down labels on the rock with a charcoal pencil, and
Cass, have you found another
You back?
Trifork?
nope.
Okay, thank you for speaking to me. Well, no, I don't. Yeah, I think you're right.
Cass apparently became a base during the fight.
Impressive.
Old Man River.
No, I think that they just sort of happened. What do we think that means?
All good things. All good things.
I don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
Probably.
I don't know where
So,
Zolta went. Is she okay?
I hope so.
Great.
I'm not sure.
Zulta has been effectively commandeered to help.
Oh, there she
categorize.
is.
The
Oh, I
last-
bet she
the last
loves
thing-
that.
The last thing I heard her muttering was about someone being a model of a model major general.
General.
It's
Yeah, I
weird.
heard that too. And then I saw a platform fall at one point, and I think she was talking to herself about her previous life.
I didn't hear
It's really
any of that. But I believe you guys.
Yeah, it's weird. It was I heard her like I was like as I passed by just a second ago. She was muttering about like height something quadratical something hypotenuse.
I don't know what you're talking about here, but
I don't either. It's what I'm
Her
hearing.
eyes kind of glazed over, and it looked like there were symbols just like floating, but maybe that was just in my head.
maybe. I don't know.
Something about she's very well acquainted too with matters mathematical.
Thank
She
you.
understands equations both the simple and
All right,
quadratical, and
okay.
about binomial theorem. She's teeming with a lot of news, with many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse.
I'm glad you know the reference because I sure as hell don't. It's like,
We were
I
singing
know-
the Major General song before you joined us.
Of course you fucking are. Why am I not surprised?
Because
I'm very
you know
good at
us.
integral and differential calculus. I know the scientific names of being and immaculus. In short, on matters vegetable and animal and mineral. I am the very modern of a modern Major General.
Just so you know, he does that to give us time to think.
Yes.
Still not enough time.
Because it's so easy to think.
It
when it's
is.
happening.
What? Think?
I know I'm
In
named
general.
Oh, okay, I was joking. It was a joke, Jody, I swear.
So should we leave the town now? What's around us? Where are we going?
Well, fire. There's a lot of fire around us in Rock.
Well,
Um,
yes. Yes, there's a
Here's
lot
the
of death
thing,
around us,
like,
you are
okay,
correct.
so we still have a wound to close in the power realm, where I think you're from. So we have that. We also have going back and exploring the Shadow Realm. That's an option, but
No,
that's
it's
okay. Never mind if you don't want to do that. And
I
then
remember us having a conversation about what could potentially happen to all of us when we close our last realm. Do we really want to, or the last tier? Do we really want to close the last tier without figuring out how these other guys are coming through the tiers? Because
Well,
that
that's-
might separate us.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe the fact that it's been open for that long and we've been putting it off has contributed to this. And maybe there's some sort of like time frame we don't know about that's contributing. That's a theory. It's also the only one I
I'm
have.
sorry.
It's also the only one I have because I can't think of any other ideas. But I definitely
Fair.
think that the shadowy guy who killed us as babies and he was an adult might have a lot to do with this. We just have never really been able to, find him or pin him down aside from the time that he killed you. But you know what
Yeah.
I remembered during that battle was that
Finally coming up.
the Yiga person in the other realm, I think it was another realm. I'm starting to lose track.
Oh,
He seemed to know a
yeah,
lot.
in the orgy. The party.
Yeah. That one.
Wait, what? The party that we went to that was absolutely a Yiga clan party?
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
Okay, the
remember
reason-
he
the
said
other reason
something
why-
at the very end?
Well, he talked to
No.
you a lot, and he seemed to know you were like from other realms, and he seemed to know like
Yeah.
everything. So maybe
Jody, can you what I don't remember any of this. I remember the sequence happening, but I don't remember the specifics.
So he knew that we could go into different realms, and he was like, "Hey, there's this thing that you have to do." We were like, "Okay, we should get out of here because you tried to kill us."
Mm-hmm.
But now maybe we should go back in to find information.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
not a bad idea.
wait, hold on. So after that point, after that section, we went out of that realm entirely.
Yes, because we were finding out. We were gonna find out about Aruna possibly dying at birth
Well,
and then coming back, and then we got stuck in Zolta's
We's
So
those
far
backstory.
around. Yeah,
I don't
we learned
remember
Zoltar's
which realm
backstory.
that party was in, Jody. Is there a
That
roll we
was
can do
the-
to remember or
That
Wisdom?
was in the Courage realm
okay?
because you guys had the issue where you used the Trifork and got sent to,
It was
realm
on it was
space.
on the way to Zora's domain, right?
and then got caught in. You went through the Shadow realm. You showed up in Hyrule Field in the Courage realm, and that party happened in the Courage version of Riverside.
Yeah, it's
City.
Riverside Stable.
That's right.
Because we talked about looking for that mob boss of yours, the Courage Realm version, and
Yeah,
seeing
my
like
ex.
if he was a bad guy, we could take him out here, and then we'd be taking out another other one.
Yeah.
And then that was also where I met up with my traveling buddies who gave us Zolta's sword to deliver.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You got a
So
good
they're
memory.
around here somewhere. Maybe we can go look for them. I can go ask my buddies if anyone knows where a Yiga hideout is.
Okay, that's not a bad idea.
Okay,
Because
great.
they would probably broadcast that.
I don't think they would, but you know,
I
you
think
never
so.
know.
If you like throw out bananas, bet we could find one.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of bananas in Hyrule, but maybe if we look for a high concentration of them that are not on trees, that would be a good start.
point. So find a whole bunch of banana trees.
Well,
Is there a map of banana trees anywhere?
if there is, I bet the Yiga would have it. and no
Aurel,
one
we're
else.
on a volcano. What? I don't. I'm gonna,
Also, I don't know if we're supposed to know the Yiga like bananas.
I would say it's probably an accepted fact.
Okay.
With how much they almost fetishize them by the time Breath of the Wild comes around, I'm gonna say everyone knows it. Like it's probably been a running joke since before the calamity. It's like, oh, banana.
Also, question. I don't- can bananas even like be around volcanoes? I feel like that's
No,
not.
not
no,
really.
but we didn't think it was here. Like
You can
if
get
we
plantains.
So maybe like all the visitors who's come through has
And
there's an
yeah,
app somewhere
bananas
in
can be
Goron
by
City.
volcanoes because you get bananas in. They got bananas in Hawaii, and
Depends on the soil and the temperature.
Yeah, but it's also
Hawaii
exactly. It's also
is
very
a
humid.
giant volcano.
Yeah,
It's also not
But
Death
it's-
Mountain.
also
Fair
it's
point.
also surrounded like by water. I
Um,
like them.
So, I lost my train of thought.
Banana. Oh, banana.
So maybe we can go look for that. Although I don't. Did we get a name of that guy? Like wasn't he trying to proposition you guys or something? It was the two of you who were there
Did
first,
I get
right?
it? Did I get a
We
name
got
for that guy?
propositioned by a lot of people.
You were drinking the
The
you
Kool-Aid.
drank the Kool-Aid.
The juice.
So
Ilea, or not Ilea. Aurel drank the Kool-Aid. I maybe did one and then went, wait a minute, this seems sus. Nope.
because if I remember correctly, and this is my very, very bad Swiss cheese memory, I believe Aurel was the one that actually talked to him. Pierre was dealing with other things
Hangover.
at the time.
No, well, Pierre.
I think it was the opposite.
You were
Pierre,
at the table.
Was it?
You were at the table.
yeah, Aurel was dealing with things because
Aurel was
but
doing
I-
dancing
I
with
was
people.
dancing.
And
Oh, yeah.
I was because it was a sequence between me and you of like a little bit of a role play thing. I don't remember any. I'm gonna have to find what episode this was and like rewatch it at some point. But
But
don't
I
remember
do
it
not
at
believe
all.
he actually gave his name, or if he did, I do not remember it.
He didn't. He didn't.
Doesn't seem
Okay,
like something
I
he would
believe
have
He
done.
just came forward and he knew, because
Yeah.
we were about to kill.
He was
everyone there.
very much happy to talk about you. He did not talk anything about himself.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm.
So maybe we can ask around here, see if anyone knows anything. If not, we'll head back to Riverside Stable and ask around there and see if anyone knows, because that's where we found him.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
also still on this side of Hyrule, so it's not an epic journey.
Ba, 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 bum, bum.
Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba.
Several shots of us just
Sure.
sprinting across mountaintops.
I mean, would you
Um,
rather have it do it than like do like the Captain Jack Sparrow running as we're doing it?
Nope. And then that could be a path to find out more information through the Yiga. Granted, if we find them, there's probably going to be a lot of Yiga people there, and we're probably going to have to either fight a lot of them and maybe have our lives in danger, or talk our way out of a lot of stuff.
So we're either going to be in our normal situation, or we're going to actually try and talk to people. Okay.
Well, both are normal, I think.
We don't often try and talk to people who first attempt to kill us.
Well, they didn't attempt to. He talked before he tried to kill us.
No.
Well,
because we fought.
Never mind, I wasn't there.
Yeah, you weren't there. You got there eventually because you woke up and came and joined us, and Kess had coffee, and then hookshotted and murdered someone. It was impressive.
As you
It was
do.
impressive, as she does.
So that's one option, or we could just go for the wound. Granted, we'd have to find a way to the power realm, and the only for sure way we know how to do that is with the Trifork, which seems to be unstable. So, what do we think here that we should do? I also got to get back to my buddies about the hot rocks.
Is that like Pop Rocks?
It's food. You might not like it if you haven't enjoyed any other rock-based dish so far.
Fair enough. That sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah,
I like
I'm fine
putting
with
us
it.
in imminent
Hot
danger.
rocks specifically would not be something non-Gorons would want to eat because they're literally rocks that
Rocks
have
that
been
are
heated
hot.
until
Literally
they're red hot.
rocks.
Like they
Hence
would
the
burn
term,
your insides.
Hot rocks.
Well, no, I
Correct.
wasn't
We
talking about that. I was
understand.
talking about going and finding the not actually trying him. So I'm down. I'm down for putting us in imminent danger. I don't plan things or think them through. Leave that to other people.
Yeah, I'm okay with whatever.
Well, since you offered.
So Pierre doesn't care. And you want to go for the Yiga clan, Aurel?
I mean, that's really the only plan that we have to find out more information, because he obviously knew about the tears and the fact that we could travel. So it was in this room? Yeah, it was in this room. So he should know more.
Yeah. What do you guys think, Zolta and Cass?
Yay!
Is
We
that
got the
is that
okay
a thumbs
from
up
Kess.
for this plan? Okay.
I like it until Kiri comes back and it's like, WTF, guys.
Why are we doing this? What were you thinking?
Eh,
Why do we have a whole bunch of
I think
bananas?
Kiri has just gotten to the point where she accepts that anytime she misses a week, she'll eventually have to clean up.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Let's do it. Let's find a
let's-
map of bananas.
Oh, well, okay. Let's ask, around the city then, to see if anyone knows where any Yiga people are. I start asking the entire city if anyone knows where a Yiga hideout is.
Remarkably enough, the Yiga clan doesn't really get to the Death Mountain at all. So the Gorons in general, for the most part, have never actually interacted with the Yiga clan. Even before the Great Calamity, when they were kind of building up a power base, they just health-wise, they just have a really, really hard time existing on Death Mountain, and Gorons have never been tempted with the power that Yiga clan offers. So
But they have a lot of travelers coming through. So I imagine that they would have heard something.
remarkably enough, they don't have a ton. That's one of the reasons why Aruna's family is the only one that's really set up to deal with non-Gorons. Like Aruna's parents create non-Goron food. The rest of the city doesn't really deal with them. They send it's significantly more likely for Gorons to leave Death Mountain than it is for like Hylians or Zora to come onto the Death Mountain, just because getting to Goron City requires traveling through Death Mountain, which is deadly to a lot of other races without some sort of protection. So
Okay, so it sounds like we have to go to Riverside Stable again.
Well, we don't have to, but that's probably a good idea if that's what we want, the information.
Yeah, because they probably have a lot more since they're a staple.
Well, that's where the party was, wasn't it? So surely there's a spy in there somewhere, or someone who suspects someone of being a spy, or I don't know.
Right, that's right. Let's do it. But the party, the other merchant group that we ran into that gave us the sword for Zolta, they knew something.
Did they?
I think so.
What did they
Don't
know?
trust Earl's memory.
Oh. All right, so are you just like making things up and hoping it's true?
No, I think I remember something. But
Okay.
I don't remember what it was.
What do you think you remember?
I can fill in gaps of
Please.
your memory.
Please do. Please do.
What specifically are you referencing? For the most part, the merchant that you talked to was another Goron, which is why they entrusted Aruna with the sword, because both Aruna and this other merchant that I can't remember their name now, Aruna knew this merchant and had interacted with them before. They both were traveling merchants.
Maybe it was the Yiga person we were talking to.
Yeah,
I remember there's something shady at which point, and Pierre and I were like, okay, let's still go, because it sounds grand.
The Yiga clan people in general will be the ones that would be a little bit more shady.
Okay. Then never mind. Riverside Stable. Are
Sounds
you guys
good.
ready to go?
Yep, ready.
Okay.
Let me say bye to my parents first.
Yeah, definitely.
Bye, Mom and
going
Dad.
on another adventure, honey?
Well, it's the same one, but yes, I'm leaving.
Well,
It was nice to meet you guys. Sorry for having to.
Oh, it was perfectly fine. It's just so lovely to meet my son's fiance and her other fiancés. That's kind of weird, but whatever you kids are up to is great.
Oh,
Mom, we're
thank you for
adults.
being so accepting. Well, we're always kids in our parents' eyes, or at least that's what I've heard. My parents died.
Is that true, Mom?
Oh yeah, you'll always be my little boy.
Okay. I'm also taller than you, but okay.
Your dad pipes in. I'm perfectly fine calling you an adult.
Thank you, Dad. Okay. Well, I'll try to be back sooner this time than 2 years. If I'm not back in another 2 years, just assume I've died.
Will do, son.
Okay.
Oh, and don't you forget these. And she brings out some little cupcake rock things that are her
Whoa.
particular specialty.
Excellent. Thank you, Mom. I appreciate that.
Weren't we going to contact her occasionally via messenger bird, which we called Pierre?
Yeah, I mean, if I can.
Right.
Like, if we're within messenger bird range or whatever other communication methods are available to us at the time.
Yeah, totally. It'll probably be me.
I hope not, because that would mean we'd separate. Oh, can we? Oh, no.
What's happening? What's happening
See
here?
Shax's mind working through these things. It's just great.
I was thinking to ask Cass, since she has some shadow tech still, that she could leave some, and then I can come back and visit your parents periodically and be like, hi, we're not married, but we're still alive. Because that's
I mean,
pretty-
you could leave one of your. Thus far, the only
not
things
leaving a stabby bit.
I was gonna say, the only things you've been able to manipulate shadows through have been specifically the stabby bits.
Mhm. Well, I haven't
Other
tried
pieces
it.
of shadow tech, like your shadow sword that you have, you cannot step through shadows through it or manipulate shadows through it beyond what it's effectively designed to do, which is turn shadows into a blade.
Oh, okay.
So
Do you
Thus
want
far,
to
the
try and
only
leave
thing-
one of your stabby
No.
bits here? Okay.
No. Because there's just enough for all of us in case we have to go to the Shadow Realm.
Oh, I thought you said that wasn't an option.
It's not. But if something happens and we need to escape, then we can teleport. Oh, we can teleport in the Shadow Realm by using the power of our minds.
Whatever you think is best, Aurel.
You're really gonna leave something up to Aurel.
You're the shadow
I
expert.
mean, this is
Let's go!
this is how you got to be a part of a fiance ship. So
Well, that was a
No, it wasn't.
whole thing.
That was Aruna. I just said he
it
had
was a
to send
two-way
doc-
street. It was a two-way street.
It was. Oh, for sure, for sure. Let's go.
Okay, bye.
okay.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
So you load up on some cool drinks so that you can make it down Death Mountain with
You guys feeling
without too
okay?
much of the difficulty.
You're standing
Good,
right next
great.
to lava. Okay, great.
It'll take you to get to Riverside City. It's going to take you about 3 to 4 days. Is there anything while you is basically just you guys surviving? But after that, is there anything specifically you guys want to kind of work on as you're going?
More pre-science.
Okay, and keep training your pre-science, getting better at that whole messenger thing.
Hang on.
I want to become Jester, but even dumber.
I kind of want to see the different things that I can do with the Shadow Sword, since I haven't really experimented with that, nor the Shadow Hookshot. So I'm going to play with the Shadow Sword and see the other things that it can do.
Sure. So, as you get to as you get more familiar with the Shadow Sword, you learn effectively how to kind of quote unquote turn off and on the shadows that surround the blade itself.
That's what
And
that
effectively,
is.
any might-based skill checks you would make, specifically like moving things or anything that requires applying force, you can actually use your entropy score instead of your might, as long as you're using the Shadow Sword.
Excellent. My might scores.
So that should be beneficial. And that takes you
Yeah.
the majority of the trip,
Okay.
kind of familiarizing yourself with the blade.
Cool.
You think that there's some other functions of the blade itself, but it is a remarkably complex blade. So you think you might have to.
Back. I have nothing to bribe her with. Oh yes, I do.
I would like to start a new project. Well, I want to clarify something first.
Sure.
So, evidently, my blast basher was already medium ranged,
Okay.
which I think makes it go 75 feet out, up to 75 feet out. Granted, I have to use two hands. So the 50-foot thing that you said the last time, I assume we just can't cancel that out. Like, I didn't extend it from medium to long. It's just still medium.
Well, you improved it, so if it was already medium, go ahead and put it to long then,
Okay.
because it was an improvement.
Okay. Long is about as long as that's ever gonna get. So, as I have recently leveled up,
Mm-hmm.
a
Book in hand.
the feat I took was craft extraordinary item, and the new project I would like to start is looking into researching, schematicizing some way to, while I'm in my rolling spiking boulder form, crashing into something and causing an explosion, preferably without damaging myself. These are just ideas. I'm not going to try to build anything yet, but I'm going to try to think of ways for that to happen.
Okay.
Because
I'll say over the 2 to 3 days that are not in the Death Mountain, I'll say you can.
I might have to consult Cass.
You can come up with 3 invention ideas that you can name at a later time if you will want. One of them will be your kind of exploding rolling harness, is what we'll refer to that for right now until we come with a better name.
I think
And then 2 other ones you would have time to kind of sketch out basic ideas for. To turn any of them into a reality, it will take more time and
according to the feat, it says the time it takes to actually make it depends on the wealth level of it, so we just have to figure out how valuable it is, I guess. Okay. That was all that's my focus on.
Cool. So as you guys get to where you remember Riverside City being,
it's gone.
There's nothing there.
What?
Or Riverside Stable.
Stable, yes.
Stable, yeah.
How did they move a stable?
Well, I mean, it's a series of tents. They could have moved it slowly over time, but I didn't think we were gone for that long.
I didn't think we were gone for that long either.
We were gone for like a week. Does that mean the Yiga clan had constructed it and then they took it away, and so it was a figment of our imagination the entire time?
I mean, if it was a week, that's really quick build time.
It's also a very elaborate deception.
That's also a lot of things to move.
Yes. And a lot of things to plan, expecting us to be there.
Have I known this stable to move before, or any stable to move before?
Yes, this one in particular, because it's right on the edge of Hyrule Field, is meant to be very mobile. They can pack up the entire effectively tent city in like 4 hours.
Do I know of any other places it could be?
They have some regular spots along this particular river that they tend to set up. You know, the next closest one is about a day's travel south.
Well, I mean, I know of some other places it could be, but it's not a guarantee. Should we just keep checking spots till we find it? Or
Sure.
Okay, yeah. Well, the next one, or the closest one, I guess, is about another day south.
All right. I'm down to keep going. We'll just have to note it and see what happens.
Okay. You know, hey, you can fly, right?
I don't know. Hey, chat. Hey, chat. Can I fly?
Who is Chad? Who are you talking to?
Thank you. Thank you, God. Yeah, I can kind of. I'll
is
fly
Chat
up
the name
ahead.
of the Rito God?
Yes. No, Siri, stop it.
Okay,
Great.
searching for Rito God.
Yeah.
No results found.
Yeah, I'll fly up and scout ahead.
Yeah, maybe you could just look around and see if you see anything.
So as you climb as high as you feel kind of comfortable going, you do notice in the distance there are scorch marks on the ground, and you can see little bits of smoke rising from what looks like what used to be the fires, mostly embers at this point.
Do I get an idea of what possibly caused it, like a guardian or something like that?
You're not sure. They're not campfires. They're a little too big to be campfires.
So like it could possibly be a guardian though. Are they like it's like lines like it could possibly be like a guardian's like beam causing a fire? Or like
from-
the weapon of a Linnell?
From what you can tell, they're basically large scorch marks that are radial, not unlike like a firebomb or something like that.
They're radial, not lines.
Yes, they are radial scorch marks.
Got it.
And they're large piles of debris in the middle that used to be burning or are getting to the point where they're no longer burning.
But debris of like what? Like wooden structures and whatnot?
Wood, cloth, things like that.
Hey Aruna.
Yeah.
There are a couple of like burning scorch marks up ahead, and it looks like there's a bunch of debris that's like kind of almost like put out of fire.
That's Hyrule Field, so that tracks, yeah.
Yeah, it would. I'm not sure if that means that something happened. It could potentially mean. Oh, wow! All of a sudden, Darrell has a bunch of food. I can't tell if. Do I get the sense that it was like how recent it is? I'm assuming it's still on fire. It's relatively recent.
From
correct?
what you can see from the sky, you can't tell how recent it is. You're just too far away. It's still a few hours journey for you guys to get to where these things are. So you're
But I
seeing
can still
something way in the distance.
I can't tell the specifics of it or what caused it, but it looks like it might possibly
do
be
you-
recent. It's hard to tell from up here.
Want to get closer to check it out.
I will mention the fact that you can see it from so far away means these radial scorch marks are big.
Oh, they're big. Oh, okay. I don't know. I mean, these are big scorch marks. It's pretty big. Like I could see from where I am, and it looks like it's a couple hours walk.
So do you not want to check it out? This is a yes or no question.
Part of me wants to, but I also think it's not necessarily the smartest idea. But it might.
Well, we can
if
keep
that's-
our distance. You can just try to get close enough to get a slightly better look.
Yeah, I
It
think we
does
should do
lead to the
that.
best adventures, not bad ideas
Yeah,
or bad ideas.
Let us. I want to get close enough so I can get a better look at what's going on without being in the crossfire of whatever's happening.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, we're in an open area, so like I can't hide if I'm in the air.
We'll try to stay directly below you
Great.
because we
Okay.
can't fly.
Oh, okay.
One of the ideas I try to come up with in the day is to figure out a way for a Goron to fly. I don't get very far.
Because
I
it's
mean-
Aruna planning this, you try to come up with some sort of bomb-based.
Oh yeah,
launching
it's 100
apparatus.
like that's as far as I get. I can get into the air. The question is, once I'm there, I haven't figured out
Yeah.
like what to do at that point.
There was a few like thought processes that you had that you eventually discarded about delayed bomb blasts, kind of keeping you airborne, effectively like jumping with your bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And you just thought that it'd be a pain in the butt to learn, and you'd have to
It's
place the
it's
wicks
a lot of exact
exactly and-
placements. Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe if I could invent an automated bomb dropper machine along with the shielded bottom. This is his thought process throughout that whole day that he was thinking about that.
Aruna, did we ever get around to thinking about how to make that harness that the rest of us could like get on in your rolling ball form that would make us go faster?
That's the third
Talking
day.
like that? Are you talking that like that? Isn't that something from like Raya and the Last Dragon?
That's the third day. It's from a lot of things, yeah.
I think I recall it from Raya as well. So I'm like, wait a minute. That's familiar.
The third day is thinking about some sort of harness carriage thing that could take a rolling Goron as the sole source of propulsion and wheel. And those are the three things for that. So I guess we move closer.
Sure.
Are you still in the air, Pierre?
I'll probably come back down for a little bit, so I'm not overly like a target.
Okay, well, let me know whenever you think we should stop, and you should fly up and get another look. And then I'll stop
So-
talking.
Over the next 2 hours, you guys get closer, and after the first probably about 45 minutes, all of you can kind of smell smoke and ash in the air.
All right, I'm gonna
And-
go back up.
Over the next hour or so, you guys get to the point where you can actually see these very large scorch marks. Like each one of these radials, this is scorch marks, is easily 100-foot radius scorch marks. So
So
they
they're
are
just a circle?
they are a circle, and the entirety of the circle is full of this scorching that
Oh.
obviously comes from the center. So thus the radial
Does it
scorch
look
marks.
like a bomb might have happened?
It definitely looks the blast pattern is consistent with some sort of explosive device. You yourself have never seen an explosive device that can do something like this, though.
It would be a big, really bigger than any I think I could manage, but potentially.
Even- not only
same
that,
type of
like-
weapon.
A lot of times the thing that makes bombs as dangerous as they are is shrapnel more than anything else. Your firebomb is something that's a little bit unique in the fact that it actually does more damage with fire than it does with shrapnel.
Mhm.
But this, with how large it is, you currently do not possess the technology to make a fire bomb that could make a scorch pattern like this that large.
Yeah, it's
like
more-
the amount
more
of fuel
force
that would be
than I need,
required for
yeah.
it.
That's a big bomb.
Yeah. Can I fly up and see anything like other like specific too?
Yeah, you can see there's a grand total of 7 of these radial explosions, and inside of them you see piles of sticks and bits of cloth that haven't completely burned away, and other debris that for the most part is burned pretty bad. Someone would need to make a I guess you could call it a logic check if you wanted to try and figure out what the rest of the debris stuff is.
Sure. I'll make a logic check.
Okay.
Oh right, I have this to a different thing. 17.
17. So looking through it, the things you notice are actually you find very obviously the remnants of a drum head. Like you can see the lacing and everything. The holes were still there. That had kept the leather taut and everything like that. You didn't find the actual case of the drum. You just effectively found the skin head. But it obviously, I mean, it's almost completely worthless now. But
Gotcha.
at one point, this was a musical instrument.
Well, I found what used to be a musical instrument.
What
It was all
instrument?
sorts of. So it
Was
looks like
that
it used to
the-
be a drum.
One we danced to?
Didn't you talk to a drummer and he invited you to the party?
Yes. We talked to
Yes.
the band.
Does it look like that
Although-
drum? Or do you not
Does it
remember?
look like that? I don't remember, but it also was so badly burned that it's hard, I think, to
Hmm.
tell.
So do we think Riverside Stable was destroyed by whatever this is?
I don't know.
If anyone
Maybe.
else wants to make a logic check to try and recognize some suspicious stuff, you can.
I'm gonna do a perception check to see if there's because I'm also apparently very good at finding things and observing my environment, which I always forget because I become distracted by hacking. Yes, so can I do that?
My logic-
Perception check would not perception check would not kind of tell you the stuff that makes up the debris, but you might be able to find more than just the debris from piles.
Yep, that was the plan.
My logic check was 25.
25. Okay. So, Arel, while you were rolling your chicha check, Aruna, as you look through the various things, most of it is burnt to the point that it is unidentifiable. But you do eventually find actually some Goron made items. One of them is kind of like a good holster kind of thing that some Goron merchants wear in order to kind of transport some of these smaller merchandise items that they wouldn't put on like a cart or something like that. You find the remnants of that, and you also find a few bones that are burnt enough that you can't really tell what kind of creature they came from.
Nothing bodily aside from the bones. No charred corpses or anything.
Not that you saw. The closest thing to bodily you found were the bones themselves.
Okay. Guys, I found some bones.
Oh,
Oh,
that's nice. Do they look like human bones?
They look like bones. That's as far as I've gotten. They look badly burned. They were next to some merchant satchels here. They look kind of Goron, but I can't tell if the bones are Goron. It's kind of hard to get down to the bones of Goron, so if they are Goron bones, that's very, very impressive to have completely obliterated the body in such a complete and total fashion.
Can we determine via the actual size? Because Goron bones, I imagine, would be significantly larger than.
I can't really tell because of how I rolled on my logic, but maybe if you want to look at it.
The reason that you can't tell is you haven't found a single complete bone. You found.
As I found pieces of bones.
Fragments.
No, but if we find a joint, that should give us the idea, or we should be able to find unless it's just shattered.
I look for joint fragments.
What you're finding is pieces of bone. Some of them are large enough that they could have belonged to a Goron. They also could have belonged to a large, they could be Linnell bones. They could be horse bones.
I'm guessing they might.
They're so burned that you can't even tell which bones they are. You just recognize bone.
Does the satchel, the merchant satchel itself, look in any way familiar other than just its make?
Roll me a learning check.
Four.
You've seen Goron merchants wear satchels similar to this. It's large enough to fit, the whole piece would be large enough to fit a Goron. Again, you found a piece of it.
Well, this kind of looks like Goron merchant satchel. I'm not sure. There were Goron merchants in Riverside Stable. The bones, I honestly can't tell. They could be horse bones for all I know.
Okay.
That's my theory, but I have this proof is not solid, concrete proof of said theory. But also, there's just nothing else around here, so I don't know. Also, don't know where these explosions came from or what could have done it.
Oh, wow. If anyone knows about explosions, it's you, so that's very frightening and impressive.
Yes, both of those things, correct.
Or what did you get for your perception check?
So one of my higher stats were.
Oh no!
So as you watch Aruna start kind of picking through the rubble, and Pierre is kind of picking through the rubble, and he'll every so often kind of fly up and look for a new pile. You realize you're probably not going to be able to discover anything that those two haven't figured out. So you avoid the rubble itself and start looking big picture wise. And as you get further and kind of further back and try and get to a point where you can see at a higher altitude, you start looking for trees and things like that. you suddenly feel this chill kind of go through you, like a cold wind just hit you, chilled you right to the bone. And as you look back, every time you look towards these scorch marks, you get this chill again.
Mm. Guys, those don't seem good. Do those in any way look similar? I know that we can't find a symbol yet, but to the burn marks that were around the other Earl's bodies.
Good question.
Were there burn marks around the bodies?
There were, yeah.
Okay.
The one that died in Kessa's arms actually had a large burning hole in her chest. So,
And the other one in the wisdom realm had this huge area that was burned.
as you look it over, you suddenly start realizing why you keep getting each chill time you look at them. While yes, there is fire, the large radial explosions, as much as they are black, like you would expect from an explosion with fire, it's not ash that has made it. All the plants in there have been stained with shadow magic.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to run back to where everyone is because I was kind of far and let them know and be like, the entire time.
So from what
Guys?
you can tell, these are large shadow explosions.
You
Did you
guys
find anything in the trees?
in the trees. No, but guys, I think this was made with shadow magic. Look at the plants.
I look at the plants.
Also look at the plant. Oh.
Yeah, it's
That's
remarkably simple to kind of overlook it, especially when you see something like this and go, "Oh, explosion!"
It looks
they're
like
all
an
burnt.
explosion. Yeah.
But the grass and things like that are intact. They're just completely black.
This doesn't feel good, you guys. Like, ugh.
I'm gonna go on record and say this also doesn't seem like a good thing. This doesn't seem like a.
So do we think was a shadow bomb? Is that a thing?
I
Or
don't
no-
know, but I feel like we should get out of this radius. Like, I don't feel
Maybe
this
a good
doesn't
call.
feel right. This
Okay.
doesn't feel right.
I step out of the radius.
So overall, there's 7 of these things spread
Yeah.
out over.
Whichever
Probably
one
out.
we're in, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know of anything that could do this?
I don't. Can I go up and like try and use a stabby bit, or let's see. I do have things that are just comprised of shadows. And see if I can like touch it and sense something from it besides it being wrong, or
Sure.
okay.
So as you take the stabby bit and you go to the first thing, as you kind of poke it with the stabby bit, the first thing you notice is like that, all the sound cuts out.
Sorry, I didn't want to use the stabby bit. I wanted to use like just part of like the stabby bolt. So since that's just comprised of shadow.
Oh, okay. Sure. Same basic thing happens. You poke it, all sound shuts off. And where is the sound I'm looking for?
Uh-oh.
It's gone because it cut out. All sound
But
cut out.
Are we back in the void where there's just nothing? Crap to play. Additionally,
As all the sound kind of breaks out, you look around and you no longer see your friends. You no longer see you no longer see the field that you are in. Everything is shadows. But
shadow
unlike
around shops? Mhm.
unlike the shadow realm where everything seems made up of shadows, this almost feels like everything, like shadows have just been draped over everything. You look up, you can see the sky, but it's like there's a veil or something in between you and the sky. It looks wrong. You look around, and in the shadow realm, everything kind of moves and undulates. Everything is dead still here.
Can I feel anything from the shadows?
You can't. Unlike again in the shadow realm, you can feel the shadows all around. You can feel shadows.
Right.
This you
Right.
feel nothing.
So it's not like it's shadows, it's like it's just darkness. Right?
Effectively, it's almost
Okay.
like with your powers, the shadows are kind of a living thing
Right.
that you can control. These
Right.
feel like dead shadows.
Oh, this is bad. Can I try and shadow step back?
And as soon as you kind of think about it and you pull your shadow blade away, everything's back.
Guys, don't touch.
What happened?
Did we see anything happen, or just a poke and an unpoke?
You as you guys watched her, she kind of poked this, and she stood up, walked directly into the center, kind of looked at you guys with her eyes completely unfocused, like she looked through you. She drew something in the on the ground, and then she walked back, got back into the position she was, and pulled her sword out, and then turned around, and she looked normal.
Oh, you guys, this just happened. And I told them it happened.
Yeah.
Cold, and it wasn't cold. It was dark, and it wasn't like the shadow realm. It was like dead. Like it felt dead.
Are you aware that you went into the circle and drew something and came back?
I moved.
Yes.
What did I draw?
I don't know. We're out here, but
Yeah.
you just slowly creep over and try to get a glimpse.
No, don't go in there. Don't go in there.
I get as close as I can, and then just try to like.
No, don't go in there. Pierre, can you go over it and see what you can find? Wow, that took a long time, Nightbot.
Sure.
Just
So
go very, very high up. Like don't like. That wasn't right. Oh, that wasn't right.
I'm gonna fly up and like kind of keep somewhat distance, but like see what I can find.
You're effectively looking at black on black.
Oh.
So you can't see anything from really any altitude.
I can't see shit.
Oh.
As far as you can tell, you think if whatever she drew is actually visible, and it wasn't just her kind of, again, if you draw a shape in the grass, nothing's going to happen.
Hey, Kess, do you think Bull would be safe to go in and scan to see what was drawn?
Well,
Takes Pool out. Pool kind of rolls his way in. You see some lights flash. Bull comes out, and he projects an image.
Come back down and look.
The image itself is is an upside down. Let me try this again. Is an upside down eye with triangles on the bottom and a tier going upwards.
Well, I think we found our. We might have found our lead.
Well, but that's what Aurel just drew right now. So how did
Oh.
she do it?
They're connected. They
Uh.
have to be connected. But how were they the shadow figures? Like, you guys, it was like I can't even begin to describe it. Like it was like just dead. Like there was everything, but it was just dead. Can the Yiga clan do that? I've never like ugh.
I don't know. But the
If,
ego we're looking for might be able to travel to realms. So
Yeah, but
With a
what if-
combination of Kess and Arel both having kind of different parts of knowledge of kind of pre-calamity Sheikah civilization, which the Yiga originally were an offshoot of the Sheikah. So their history's intertwined. Arel, if you want to roll a learning check, do you have a learning score at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can roll it with advantage 4 then,
Okay.
with Kess's help.
Okay. I got a 15
Okay.
with advantage 4.
Do you have a reroll token if you want to go higher?
I
And
do.
you rolled a 6 on your D20, so
I know. Hey, I rolled a 1 on it before with my perception check. So, it's not a good roll day. I might take out my die.
I believe, at least for the time being, it looks like we had an issue with the rupees for redemptions not working for a little bit. I believe they're working again now. So if anyone wants to send people some
missed it.
sorry, there we go. If anyone wants to send some reroll tokens or anything like that, you totally can. Just click on the shield icon when you hover over the stream, and it'll
Help us. It will
Yeah.
save us. This reroll tokens are wonderful. Earning wasn't. It's working. Okay, cool. I'm gonna throw a legend point in that, so I'm gonna have advantage 5.
okay.
I got a 12. Oh no.
Yes, and
Oh, no.
theoretically, Earning should be working again now. So if anyone wants to toss out another reroll token, she just got a 12, which is impressive.
Is there a
She
way I
rolled a
can
2
assist
this
on
time.
his roll? On this roll?
Well, the
Kess-
reason she's making it
Kess
is
is
because
already
Kess
helping,
is
yeah.
helping her. And
yeah,
to be
oh,
honest,
helping.
God.
your Sheikah history is not good enough that it'll be useful to them.
Yeah.
Where? Oh wait, I put it here. Okay, this one.
Real dice.
You all thought I was crazy.
No, we didn't.
It may take 2 extra minutes to roll, but it's worth it.
And
29.
from
Oh,
in
wait.
There
my
we
head,
go.
Wait,
Arel may have to go back to school. Here's a reroll token from Imp.
thank you.
It said
Oh,
I'm
35, I'm
unauthorized.
You have advantage. 35.
You say 35?
I did say 35.
Nice.
I just tried to accept the
Thank
thing
you,
from Imp.
Imp.
and Streamlabs says I'm unauthorized. So
You know what?
I can do it.
you know what? I guess
We'll
we
keep
can announce
track of
this.
it. We'll keep track of it. Should be easy to keep track.
We can announce this. I guess now works fine. We will be once we transition to our new amazing things that are coming. We will be discontinuing using Streamlabs, and we will be using channel points for everything because it works better. And we don't have to deal with Streamlabs anymore. So we will have a buffer time where you can use up the last of your rupees, and then we'll be hopefully.
I know.
So I no
scored a
longer have
15.
access to the redemption. So if someone else wants to keep access.
I got it.
But what was the total you got?
35.
55. Okay,
I
so
got 15 on the D20 alone.
speaking with Kess, and specifically thinking about where you found the device that eventually turned into your shadow bits. You guys kind of piece together what you think that place used to be, because you both visited that same cavern at different points. You visited it a little earlier than Kess and got hit with the full force of whatever it was. And you think that the Sheikah were actually studying controlling shadows, not because they thought that it would be useful, but because there was something they were fighting against that used shadows to attack them. So they were looking effectively for an anti-shadow device, and that's what you effectively found. And you think what happened here is effectively something was created that can make any shadows in the blast area completely unusable to someone that uses shadow magic. Which is effectively an anti-shadow bomb or something has gone off here. And with a 29 or whatever it was, you would have immediately 25, whatever. 35?
Mm-hmm.
You were muted, by the way. So I'm reading lips here.
35.
There we go. So you immediately kind of go over there, and yes, anything inside the blast radius, you were completely unable to manipulate any shadows inside of the blast radius.
Okay.
You are effectively powerless.
Okay. I'm going to walk back to Cass and let her know that, and the other team members and everyone else as well. Just relaying that information.
That sounds bad.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah. So I'm going to be useless in the upcoming adventures.
Unless we find their anti-shadow supply or people that can do it. Take those out first.
There was a Yiga symbol. We have like. And we were.
I will
find...
mention that Kess does kind of reiterate the reason they were studying this is there's something that was attacking the Sheikah that used exclusively shadow magic that was bad enough that they thought the best thing we can do is completely destroy shadows.
Kess says this.
Yes. Sorry, Kiri, for using your character for plot, but
I think she'd be fine with that.
What?
It
In
is
my
part of our
RPG?
joint brain connection that's not actually connected. I like it being connected.
Wait,
to you.
okay. Three encounters, two encounters, one story we've had with this shadow guy. I saw one while traveling through the first portal. It was just a glimpse. The second time was whenever he was killing one of the Arels and then immediately fled. And then the only other time he's been mentioned is when we were in Zora's Domain, just hearing about him and everything he did. Throughout any of those times, did it seem like based on what we've seen from Morel, did it seem like he wielded closer to shadow or anti-shadow magic? Or neither?
The only time you've ever quote unquote interacted with him was when Kess saw him.
Right.
And what he used was not, he looked shadowy, but the magic that he used was fire.
Yeah, okay.
Like it was a solid form of fire that she's never seen before, but it was
not shadow. So but
Yeah.
when he looked shadowy, did that look, I guess only Kess would know the answer to this. Did that look mirror how Aurel looks sometimes when she looks shadowy, or different? Okay.
It's different. Aurel, when she deals with shadows, looks like she kind of gets made up of shadows. This looks more like someone is in shadows where they're just hard to see because the light isn't quite reaching them, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, maybe it's possible that this mysterious shadow guy we're looking for uses shadow magic, and the Yiga want to fight him, and so that's why they made the anti-shadow magic, unless they just think you're a huge threat as well. Not saying you're not, but you know. So maybe they're at odds with each other, or maybe the Shadow Man is an anti-Shadow Man, and they're teaming up together somehow. I don't know.
But why was that symbol there? Why did I draw that symbol? And it was dark and it was dead. Like, why?
I'm not
Why
gonna
did I
lie.
move?
I don't know how that happened, but I think it's clear that the group of Yiga we're looking for have some control over this anti-shadow magic stuff. The question is, are they trying to use it against that man or for that man?
Well,
Or
he's
maybe-
obviously. Well, they're obviously on our side, because if not, then like he wouldn't have told us to go through the other realms, and then
What did he tell you exactly? I looked to
You were
Pierre.
there.
I looked to Pierre.
You were there.
The party thing? Oh God, I don't remember.
GM.
Somebody help.
You there!
Somebody help.
The DM!
Looks to camera. You.
I haven't the foggiest idea at this particular point in time. We're talking about what, like a year ago, almost 6 months ago.
6 months, maybe.
Go.
I haven't the foggiest idea exactly what he told you. Thank you for the raid, Zodin Haruma. Effectively, if I remember correctly, he didn't really tell you to do much of anything other than he was trying to get you to join him, and then a fight broke out.
No, the fight broke out beforehand, and then because Kess and Aruna and Zolta, which means that the fight had already started. And I remember he told us, because he was talking about how he knew we could traverse the realms. And
I'm glad you remember than I know. I'm like trying to listen to.
She
I think it
listens
was
very
episode
well while on
76.
drugs.
Yes.
I think I'm
So-
like trying to listen through that whole thing, and I'm like, I will have that information for when I'm in it when I'm back in a month. But
This is all my serving days coming out.
So, which one of you guys got the open face sandwich?
I remember he got it without the onions.
So he wanted you to join
And
him?
you also wanted it medium rare. So
I
no.
don't know.
It wasn't that he wanted us to join him. He wanted us to fix the tears. I'm pretty sure he wanted us to fix the tears because he knew we could go through the realms, and he also knew about. Did he know about the shadow guy?
I don't know.
He knew something was wrong.
I don't think it doesn't sound like he let on he knew about it, but I think he definitely knows about him if he's telling us to do the thing we're trying to do anyway. And then
And there's
also seems like trying to be helpful despite inherently doing bad things.
but maybe this particular thing he's doing is not bad, unless it serves their own purpose too, which is probably the case.
Mm.
But you were the most scared by whatever just happened, Darrell, so we don't have to go seek them out if you don't want to.
No, we need to know what happened. Because what if it happens again and something like it's could it kill me too? If the shadows are part of me? And I saw my shadows?
I don't know if it would kill you or take away your powers.
Stick me in the void?
I mean, you
Or-
just went through all of that, and you're alive.
Yes, but that was secondhand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not really my area of expertise. I'm just spitballing ideas here.
I feel like since we were going there anyway, we should keep going with our plan because they
Right.
might know something.
Well,
They might know something.
assuming this is Riverside Staple, this was really our only last lead as to where they could be. So where do we go to go look for them?
Another place with bananas.
That opens a lot. That's not very.
A map of the terrain where we know that bananas are suddenly disappearing in vast quantities. There has to be that information somewhere.
I'm sure there is.
Banana report is,
It would
regularly
take-
circulated.
I look for a charged, shadowy version of the banana report.
Maybe they stole the bananas
know,
from
it's-
the stable. We can track them via their shadow banana.
I will mention where you guys are is not quite the location where you were expecting to find Riverside
Yeah.
Stables.
Oh.
But the stable could be anywhere. I was just, spitballing where it could be. So we can still go look at those places. We could also go back to the site of the party, see if there's anything there, if we can figure out where that was.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
What are we
Because this might
thinking?
have just been targeting your. If that was part of a merchant bag, it might have been targeting that group. Like, are they trying to stop something?
Again, apologies to Kiri for using you for plot. Kess comes up to Arel and goes,
Don't think so much.
what did this do to the Shadow Realm? The Shadow Realm, did we know that? Because we traveled all over the world. What did this do to the Shadow Realm here? Can you check?
I feel like since he suddenly made Kiri talk, this is going to be a bad idea. But yes, I will, Kesh, because you are the brains of the operation.
Maybe don't try to take us with you, though, because that complicates things.
Yeah. Someone hold on to my stabby bit because we're connected.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead and make a shadow check.
Step roll.
Mhm.
Right, do I want to use this? Hold on. Oh no, cancel. Should
And
use
I
my
am watching the clock. I know we've gone a little bit late. I promise this will make sense. We started a little bit late. By a little bit, I mean an hour.
We started on time.
We should start playing. So I got a 23.
Okay, cool. So you start kind of transitioning into the Shadow Realm, and like every other time you transition into the Shadow Realm, the first thing you hear is your sister screaming in your ear, which you
God.
just kind of learned to deal with. But as you kind of coalesce, you see in front of you, while everything else is black and shadowy, you see where this where these radio blasts are in the Shadow Realm is a white void.
Wait, is a white void?
Yep.
Do I feel anything from it? Oh, that's bad. That's real bad.
As you kind of
Can I take the shadow Sword of Awesome again and like try and poke it a little bit again.
As you do, it stops before it goes into the void, and you kind of push against it. It's effectively like you've hit a wall.
Okay. I'm gonna go back and tell the group that it looks like, guys, in the shadow, there's in this area where this is, there's no shadows. There's no shadows. It's white and there's like a barrier around it. Like I can't get shadows in there. There's no shadows. They destroyed part of it. It's gone.
If it's
Well, not
anti-shadow,
gone, but it's
that
like-
makes sense.
Oh. What if they? What if I'm in one of those? What do I?
That's not good.
Why?
Should I create a character sheet just in case?
Why is that not
Because
good?
there's no
Yeah,
shadows, and I am like the shadows are like part of me.
But only in those specific spots, right?
No, the shadows are part of me. Remember my shadow form?
Yes.
I am part shadow.
Right, yes. But unless an anti-shadow bomb goes off like on you.
Or whatever this device is, if I'm in like the area or like.
But this already happened. Like it's
But there
the
could
leftovers.
be more. We don't know. There could be more.
There
And
could be, but it would take a lot, even for this, much to destroy an entire realm, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be like if I can just be in the area. And guys, I'm panting really hard, and it's not burger.
Would you like some Goron juice?
Had to get in there. No,
Okay.
but you
And
don't feel good.
that is where we are going to end it for today. As always, if you missed any of this, we do have all of the episodes of Realms of the Wild right here on the Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Zelda Universe TV. Just go ahead and click on the videos tab and you can find all of them there. Otherwise, again, that's all for me today. And I'll see you guys in the next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.